Stop scrolling. If you receive the state pension, winter fuel payment, or disability benefits, what I'm about to show you could put extra money in your account this week. Or nothing at all. Breaking news. British seniors are about to receive hundreds or even thousands this week. Are you on the list? We have just seen a massive confirmation of major shifts within the Department for Work and Pensions and HMRC that are set to trigger a chain reaction of payments and eligibility changes starting right now, January 19th. The landscape of British finance is shifting beneath our feet, and if you are relying on the traditional dates or the old rules you followed for years, you are at serious risk of a financial shock. There is a specific window opening up this week where thousands of households will see a surge in their bank balances. But for others, the news is far more sobering as the government tightens the net on who actually qualifies for the cost of living support that many have come to depend on. You need to understand that the rules for the winter fuel payment have undergone a silent but radical transformation that is coming to a head as we speak. For years, this was a universal safety net, a guaranteed sum of between $100 and $300 that landed like clockwork. But the 2025 to 2026 cycle has introduced a cliff edge threshold that is catching thousands of retirees off guard. If your total income for the tax year exceeds $35,000, HMRC is now authorized to claw that payment back in full. This isn't just a gradual reduction, it is an all or nothing scenario where being just £1 over the limit could mean you owe the entire payment back to the government. This week is the critical period for those who haven't seen their automatic payment land. The official guidance is clear. If that money isn't in your account by the end of January, you have a very narrow window to contact the Winter Fuel Payment Center. But wait until you hear the specific amounts being distributed right now. If you are over the age of 80 and living alone, you are looking at a full $300, while those under 80 typically receive $200. However, if you live with another qualifying person, that amount can be split or reduced to as little as $100. The urgency here is that while many payments were automated in November and December, a significant mop-up phase is happening starting this week for those who were missed or whose circumstances recently changed. But the story doesn't end with heating bills. We are looking at a historic confirmation regarding the state pension triple lock that will fundamentally change your retirement planning for the coming year. The government has officially confirmed a 4.8% increase to the state pension, a figure driven by the average wage growth, which has outpaced both inflation and the 2.5% minimum. This means from April 2026, the new state pension is set to climb to $241.30 per week, up from the current $230.25. For those on the basic state pension, the jump is from $176.45 to $184.90. On the surface, this looks like a win, a much-needed boost for millions. However, there is a hidden sting in the tail that most people are completely overlooking. With the personal tax allowance frozen at $12,570 until 2031, this 4.8% raise pushes the annual new state pension to approximately $12,548. That is just $22 away from the tax threshold. We are standing on the precipice of a historical first where the state pension alone, with no other private income or savings, could become taxable within the next 18 months. If you have even a tiny private pension or a part-time job, you are almost certainly going to be dragged into the tax net, and HMRC is already preparing the systems to start these deductions. While the pensioners are navigating these new tax traps, universal credit and disability benefit claimants are facing their own set of rebalancing measures that start to take effect in the coming months, but are being finalized this week. We have confirmed that the standard allowance for universal credit is receiving a special 2.3% uplift on top of the standard inflation increase, meaning a single person over 25 will see their monthly payment rise from $414 to $424.90. But there is a massive catch for new claimants. The DWP is moving forward with a plan to slash the health-related element for those with limited capability for work. If you are currently receiving the LCWRA element of $432.27, you are part of a protected cohort. But for new claims processed after the upcoming transition, that amount is being slashed to just 217, not on 26. This is a staggering drop of over $200 a month. The government's logic is to remove the perverse incentive to stay out of work. But for those with genuine health barriers, this represents a massive loss of security. If you are considering a new claim or a change in circumstances, the timing of your application could be the difference between thousands of pounds a year in support or a significantly reduced lifestyle. Let's talk about the HMRC deadline that is looming over every single person in the UK who has additional income or is self-employed. January 31st is the hard deadline for self-assessment, but January 19th marks the start of the final 10-day countdown, where the system usually begins to buckle under the pressure. If you owe tax and cannot pay, HMRC has opened a time-to-pay service, which has already been used by nearly 18,000 people this year. This allows you to spread the cost, but you must set this up before the deadline to avoid the immediate $100 penalty and the spiraling interest rates that follow. Furthermore, there is a major change for child benefit claimants. If you've been avoiding child benefit because of the high income charge, you can now opt to pay it through your tax code via a new digital service rather than filing a full tax return. This is a massive administrative relief, but you need to act now to deregister from self-assessment before the filing window closes. For those on disability benefits like PIP or attendance allowance, the rates for 2026 have also been locked in, and the increases are substantial. The enhanced rate of the PIP daily living component is moving up to $114.60 per week, and the mobility component is rising to $80. This means for those on the highest levels of support, the combined monthly payment will exceed $778. For seniors, attendance allowance is rising to the same levels, with the lower rate reaching $76.70. These payments remain non-means tested and tax-free, which is a rare island of stability in a sea of changing rules. However, the DWP has signaled that they are stepping up benefit review checks this month. If you receive a letter asking for bank statements or a review of your housing costs, do not ignore it. We are seeing reports of payments being suspended within 48 hours of a missed deadline. The government is on a mission to save $1.9 billion by streamlining the assessment process, and accuracy checks are the tool they are using to do it. So, what do you need to do right now to ensure you don't lose out? First, if you are a pensioner, check your bank account today for that winter fuel payment. If it's not there and you believe you are eligible, you must call the Winter Fuel Payment Center on 0800 731 0160 before the end of the month. Second, if you are on Universal Credit, log into your journal and ensure all your details are up to date, especially your housing costs, as any discrepancy found during the January review period will trigger a payment freeze. Third, if you are a high-income pensioner with an income over $35,000, start putting aside a portion of your winter fuel payment now, because HMRC will be coming for it via your next tax return. Finally, for everyone else, prepare for the April 6th transition. The 4.8% pension increase and the 3.8% benefit uplift are coming, but they bring with them new tax implications that could eat into your gains. Keep a close eye on your mail for the official DWP uprating letters, which will specify your exact new weekly or monthly amount. Would you like me to break down exactly how the new $35,000 income limit for the winter fuel payment is calculated so you can see if you'll have to pay it back?